Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. It's time to look at the waiver wire before the All-Star break, and it might seem a little barren, so we're going to give you some of the names that are really lowly rostered right now, and we're going to start here with the infield, and we're going to start with Colson Montgomery of the White Sox, a shortstop rostered in 23% of leagues. So a guy who's gotten the call here for the White Sox as they continue to turn the page to the future of this organization. So what can Montgomery give us from our fantasy teams in 2025, the rest of the season, Welsh?
Critical, I would say. He's critical to the rebound of this team. They made moves, just as a side note here. You know, they made their moves. Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery, those are going to be key cogs for this team. Edgar Caro, like they've made these solid moves, but Colson Montgomery at the middle of the infield is just so important. So much so, there was a point this season where he was sent down back to complex to rework everything. It was like a developmental process where they were reworking his swing. And guess what? Things look like they've kind of readjusted, and that's the positive. At the end of the day, there are some strikeout issues with Colson Montgomery, and he showed off some batting average problems. So that's always going to be in the back of their mind. But if you compare that to what he's done early on, you can see there's either some significant changes or he has just found a really, really hot streak here. He's only striking out 15% of the time while walking 15% of the time. He has made a bunch of contact. He's pulling the ball in the air 25% of the time with an 82% zone contact rate. Those are all really good. He is tooled out beyond belief, but just know that there's a little bit of volatility in his game. But right now, he's a type of guy that could easily drop a 2020 type of season. So I'm pretty encouraged. I think you should pick him up because if the Ks continue to drop and he gets on base, he's just going to make things happen and probably is at a prominent spot in the lineup. So I really do like speculating on Colson Montgomery simply for the tools right now.
Next guy on our list to talk about, Tyler Freeman, who we've mentioned before. The roster percentage has moved up, but it's still just 38%. He qualifies in the outfield, qualifies at shortstop, and he's swinging a hot bat right now for the Rockies.
He is the NL version of Ernie Clement, if that's what you want. If you want,
I like that.
Yeah, if you want high batting average, he's going to get you some stolen bases. He's not much in the power department, but he has a higher walk rate than strikeout rate, so he's great for points leagues right now. It's pretty simple. Like, you're going to get runs. Maybe he walks into a couple extra homers just based on, the offensive ballpark and being in Colorado, but it probably turns into a little bit more doubles. But the cool thing is he doesn't have just the crazy home road split where he's hitting 349 at home. You're like, okay, amazing. Now tell me. He's hitting 329 on the road. So like he's making tons of contact. So I think his chase, his batting average, runs, and stolen bases. And guess what? That sounds like a slew of other players. That's like a Chandler Simpson. That could be like a Nico Horner. The high batting average is really encouraging. I actually think like he should be a massive pickup right now in the same vein, coming back to the Ernie Clement thing, because even though it is three categories and the other two, RBI and homers, are a nothing burger, he's hitting at the top of the lineup and he can potentially recoup high value on those other three categories. So Roto head to head, I think Tyler Freeman's the most interesting of all these names, even though his upside's like a tiny bit capped.
Next on our list on the offensive side, Thairo Estrada, another Colorado Rocky. I know we've had him in our mix before. He is still just rostered in 18% of leagues. Health has really been the problem for Estrada all year long. But I think this is one of those ads where if you're looking for some help in the middle infield or just some bench depth, that perhaps the second half might be kinder to him. I like the first half, basically, I think it's just injury riddled. You crumple it up, you can throw it out. And you hope that Estrada, who has a profile of hitting for like a 275 kind of batting average, a guy with a little pop, a little speed, can help you in a couple different categories. I think this might be one of those sneaky ads there that could help you in the second half. What are your thoughts on Estrada, Welsh?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I thought he was actually like a back end of the draft during draft season, like kind of steals, even if he was going to miss some time, he'd like come back. And, last season he ended up putting up like, was it 9 homers, a couple stolen bases. The year prior to that is what I mean, is the 14 homers, 23 stolen bases. That's what you're banking on. I will say his profile looks very different right now, though. He's not striking out, but he's also no longer barreling. It looks reminiscent of the Ernie Clement, Tyler Freeman, Jacob Wilson type of players where they're going to have low barrel rates, low hard hit rates, and they're going to just make a bunch of contact. But guess what? I'd rather have Tyler Freeman at this point than him. So I do think there's way more power potential if he gets back to who he was, but he doesn't walk. Luckily, he's not striking out right now. His XBA is 40 points lower. So I I think the ballpark makes him interesting. Knowing his past homer history makes him interesting, but I would prioritize Tyler Freeman over him right now. But, we got to always pay attention to Colorado hitters. And if they start moving some other pieces, it's just going to create, guys moving up, guys like Estrada moving up in the lineup if the Ryan McMahons and whatnot end up getting traded.
The next guy on our list and the last hitter we're going to talk about today, I've tried to ignore. The Red Sox have tried to replace, but it just seems like Romy Gonzalez is the guy, at least at first base for now, because he keeps hitting. He's hitting 338 on the year. I know the power is limited, but he's got 4 steals. He's hitting over 400 over the last week, Welsh. He qualifies, depending on your league rules, almost everywhere in the infield. So from that standpoint, in daily transaction leagues, he can be incredibly useful if you're playing daily lineups, because if you got somebody out in the infield, chances are Romy Gonzalez, if he's in the lineup, can play there. And if you have injuries there in the second half too, having a super util guy like this who can hit for average, I think is very useful, at least fill up the box score a little bit. So I know he's got limitations, but he does have a ton of eligibility. And right now, he just continues to put the bat on the ball. So what are your thoughts on Romy Gonzalez? Do you think the Red Sox are going to replace him there? Or do you think as sellers, the Red Sox are just going to continue to just kind of leave him alone there and let him just continue to hit for batting average and continue to futz around a little bit more with the outfield dynamic and trade guys like Duran and, maybe a guy like Yoshida too?
Well, it does look like Duran might be on the move here soon. If what you're asking me is, do I think Romy Gonzalez will be the first baseman and then they will make a trade to replace him as an everyday first baseman? Yes. But I don't think he's going to be replaced in that. I think he is a platoon player. Unfortunately, it's a short side platoon, but he's hitting over 400 against lefties right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he has an absurd. All of his homers have come against left-handed hitters or pitchers. He has a 15% barrel, 60% hard hit rate. Those are absolutely ridiculous numbers. His XBA is over 300. Strikeouts are not a big problem. But I think this is that world of like, these guys, Wilyer Abreu is another prime example. Wilyer Abreu is on the other side of that platoon. So pairing Romy Gonzalez with maybe Yoshida or pairing him with Wilyer Abreu, he can play the other version of that. So I don't really think he's going to be replaced in that sense. And also, if the Red Sox just decide to blow it up, which I still don't think they would, even if they trade Duran, I don't think that necessarily means they will. But if they decided to blow it up, I do think that would create some opportunities for Romy. But I think Romy is a short side platoon player rest of season. That doesn't mean he can't be valuable, but you said it best. Daily transactional leagues, you got to pay attention to him because he puts up absurd. It's like Jock Peterson was a very fantasy relevant guy, but it was on the strong side platoon. Romy's hitting profile now looks ridiculous. I think deeper leagues, he's a great guy to have on the bench.
All right. If you need some more help on the waiver wire, don't forget to use the waiver assistant, one of the many tools in FantasyPros MLB My Playbook. So the waiver assistant is here to help you find the players you need to fill in the gaps on your roster. Just sync your leagues for free to receive personalized waiver suggestions tailored to your roster and your league settings. You can quickly see which available players will improve your team and by how much. Just download the Fantasy Baseball My Playbook app today or visit fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook to gain the edge on the waiver wire that you need over all your league mates. All right, let's take a look at some relief pitchers who could help you. Ronny Henriquez of the Marlins at 48% rostered, and Kevin Ginkel of your Arizona Diamondbacks just 5% rostered. With the way things have gone this year for the Diamondbacks, it's been a wee bit rough there in the bullpen. Shelby Miller, the latest casualty of war there. And look, if you had to rank these guys, if you had to spend on these guys, how would you approach these two relievers who are on the waiver wire currently?
This is so tough because there's different elements of it. I think the Diamondbacks are a better team, even though the Marlins swept them.
The Marlins are playing pretty good baseball.
I know, they are playing pretty good baseball. The Diamondbacks, I think, are a better team. They do not want to relent. They want to keep going. I think the save opportunities could be more, but it has been like Survivor on the Diamondbacks, and it's just guys are getting eliminated. Kevin Ginkel, everything about Kevin Ginkel has been awful, but he's the last man standing, and Lovello just absolutely loves him. So I think he's a decent option right now. He should be picked up. But if you're talking about the talent between the two players, I want Ronny Henriquez. A 33% K percentage is crazy. His walk rate, it's not great, but we've seen worse for like big relievers, around 8%. But he's getting saves. He's up in the top percentiles of whiff percentage, K percentage, chase percentage in baseball as a reliever. So, and he's getting all the save opportunities. I think he's going to be thrown into that the rest of the season. It's just like Ginkel might have 25% more save opportunities, but Henriquez's might just be cleaner and better with high Ks. So I would actually prioritize Henriquez over Ginkel right now, because also, like, we're one more bad step away from another Diamondbacks reliever going. And if they were to trade off, there's a chance maybe they can sell Ginkel on somebody. But I think these guys are close. I think they should just both be picked up, though, if you're chasing saves.
Well, there weren't a lot of starting pitchers to talk about in the waiver wire this week, just not, especially lowly rostered. So I want to look projecting ahead a little bit of what the Braves do coming out of the break, because Didier Fuentes got destroyed by the Athletics. He's clearly not ready for prime time yet. Hurston Waldrep hasn't pitched great, but it feels like he would be the next guy to get an opportunity. He's just 9% rostered on CBS. Welsh, again, I don't know how much he can help you. He's got a live arm. He's got some talent. He's got some control issues, but it feels like Didier Fuentes is not going to be in the rotation when we come back from the All-Star break. And it feels like somebody like Waldrep will get that chance. So in your opinion, will it be Waldrep or somebody else within this system?
No, I think, like, if you're giving an opportunity to a starting pitcher, again, I think this is also built off of not just Didier, but like if they're going to just be these sellers and they're building for next year. Hurston Waldrep, I think he might have gone through the developmental thing a little bit early on, trying to fix some stuff because his ERA is being inflated. This was like a top prospect, but he's got a 5 ERA in the minors. As of recent, things have been a little bit better. 3 of his last 4 outings, he's given up 2 or less while going at least 5. Strikeouts are getting back. He's got a walk problem right now, but I think he's going to get the opportunity. If I remember correctly, he's got that big splitter that he's throwing. So I actually think there's some streamability for him. You're right. There's not a bunch of great options. If you're living in the prospect world, I do think there are prospects that are going to be coming up. But I assume guys like Bubba Chandler, and you're a little indifferent on Andrew Painter, those guys are probably not going to be available. Hurston Waldrep is a guy that might just kind of sneak under the radar to come back up. They've worked on him throughout the minor leagues. And his last start was the most encouraging of all of them, where he went 5, gave up no earned runs, struck out 4. I guess he did walk a couple, but he was a little bit cleaner. That opportunity is going to pop up for him. So I think deeper league speculation, no short league, 12. If it's a bigger 12 team that has, like the 5 outfielder and I might, but it's got to be that or higher for me to potentially speculate on Hurston Waldrep if he gets a rotation spot coming out of the All-Star break.
All right, there you have it, everybody. Make sure you drop your comments below. Subscribe to Fantasy Pros MLB, and you might win yourself a Juan Gonzalez jersey. That's right. That's the giveaway for July from pristineauction.com. Again, like this video. Subscribe to the Fantasy Pros channel. Drop your comments. Who's your favorite waiver wire pickup of the week? And boom, just like that, you're in it. And don't forget to ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a piece of content here on Fantasy Pros MLB. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.